Welcome to RC Fun Time. Here's your host, Sean Janum.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Hey, how are you doing, everybody? We're back. Again, this is Thursday, day 2 of the qualifiers.
It's Thursday already.
Yes.
I think it's still Tuesday.
It feels like it, kind of.
Yeah, this has been a fast week.
It's been an extremely fast week. OKO is co-host. OKO, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, this is our guest, Jay Joshaph, the Flying Hawaiian from Hawaii.
What's up? What's up?
And someone is using an air blower, and we can hear it on the mic.
Yep.
It's loud.
Yep. Jay, how you been?
I can't complain, man. Life is better for sure. That's definitely life better. RC's been a little slow for me, but it's definitely picking back up. So I might be traveling way more this year.
Really?
Try to compete, yeah. Back at it.
Back at it. What's your next race that you're looking at?
So 2 weeks, I'm gonna be in Arizona. I'm gonna go to the that Arizona National race or something. No.
Yeah. I don't remember what it is.
I forget what it was. It's the one Frank Greer and Tony Arellano is hosting.
So you do primarily drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do both prep and no prep, or are you strictly prep?
So I was doing pretty much just prep, but I've been dabbling in the dry tire maybe like 8 months ago, but I kind of just stepped back again and just kind of back into the prep. I like prep better for me.
Gotcha. Go ahead and let us know a little bit about yourself. I mean, tell us when you got started in RC and what you started off with, and a little bit about yourself.
So I started drag racing, I want to say about 5 years ago. Been playing RC since I was a little kid. Came from a racing background. Oval, my grandfather, my dad, they was all oval racers, so kind of what we played with back then, you know. And as I got older, I just kind of just at the parks and just playing with bashers and things like that. And then one of my friends was like, Reggie, you should come on and try drag race with us. And I was like, drag racing? I never did do it. Let's try it, you know. So
yep.
That's where my journey started with drag racing about 5 years ago. I started off with I think a Traxxas Bandit. It was a stretch Bandit. And we was running rubber tire, off-road tires. We was running any tire we could run with. And we was running 66-foot half of the 32. But then we started going to 90-foot. We went to 90-foot. We had our own little 90-foot, and then went to 132. And I went to the first King of the Streets. I think I went out in like the third round. I think I only had like 40 cars, something like under 40. And
it was very cold that year, if I remember right.
Yes, it was cold.
Very cold.
We was running actually knobby tires on our cars back then, even in that race.
Yep.
And a lot of guys were like, what are you guys doing running knobby tires until they see our cars ran? And we actually ran pretty well up there, you know. And I just went crazy after that. I just kind of bought new stuff and then got different cars. I went through like maybe like 40, 50 cars.
Oh my goodness.
I was buying this car and that car and that car. You had, before for the Traxxas conversions, you had so much different people making conversions. So I had pretty much every car you could think of, you know. And then I ended up buying my first real no prep car that like I competed nationally with was in Redemption.
Okay, yep.
The first one.
I was there.
And I had a Hitman, undercover Hitman B6 conversion. And I was just, everybody kind of knew who I was then. They was just like, oh, who is this guy? This guy's fast. Because I beat Dibs there.
Yes.
And Dibs actually won the whole thing.
Yes.
But that's where my RC drag racing pretty much started. Like, I ended up getting sponsored by R1 after that. And I've been at R1 a few years. And, of course, I left, went to GFRP. Then now I'm just running whatever I want to run, you know. I just kind of stepped down from GFRP. It's not like Dustin told me I get out of here or nothing like that. I just kind of stepped down. Just kind of wanted to be independent and kind of like work my way back up again, you know?
Right.
That's how I felt, so.
Able to do what you want, when you want,
when you want, yeah. You know, because I was very inactive. You know, I didn't race pretty much the whole year. I raced twice, I think. You know, so in the last year and a half or so, I probably raced like 4 times. You know, so kind of just took a break.
So, what is the drag racing scene like over in Hawaii? Is it big?
It's more dry tire now. Right now, there's a lot of dry tire going on. Not really, not many prep right now. I mean, they've been talking to get a race going, but until then, I'm gonna just go test and get ready for the States and travel and stuff like that.
Any of them that you're looking forward to the most out of the ones coming up?
Super Chip here,
Super Chip's
back here.
Yes, we were talking with, help me out here, Jared. Yesterday, and yeah, sounds like a good time.
I mean,
fingers crossed, I'll be back.
I love Super Chip, man. That race is just always awesome. You know, for me personally, I always had a great time there. Just a good race overall.
Good atmosphere.
Yes, definitely.
Good atmosphere. Any kind of going to step out of drag for just a second. We'll go back to it. Since we're at the Chili Bowl, any chance you'll ever go back or go into a dirt oval?
So I actually raced a little bit of dirt oval back home.
Really?
But it wasn't big. We didn't know what we were doing.
Okay.
But I had a Custom Works 4. Then I had a bunch of different classes like street stock and things like that. I had a Traxxas car, just a basic car. But we was racing every month, and I did that for like 4 or 5 months, and it kind of died off. But I actually want to get some of the guys back together again to go and race. I'm actually going to buy a car before I leave.
Fantastic. Any ideas what you're looking at?
I'm probably going to get a Custom Works 5.
Custom Works 5?
The 5.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll push you. We'll kind of steer you towards a 5-star here, but you get what you want.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'll go look too. We see what happens.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going home with something though. That's for sure. So I want to go back and go try to see if we can get something together. I've been talking to some of the guys, and
there's a lot of good guys down there. A lot of good guys.
So we see.
What brings you down to Chili Bowl?
So my wife's actually in school for a week here. She goes full-time school, but she actually had to come out here to do some clinicals, so hands-on and tests, and it's like kind of like a nurse's boot camp. She has like 10 more months left in school, so she wanted me to come out with her, and then I found out it had all the Chili Bowl and everything. It kind of lined up perfect, so I'm out here having fun while she's in school.
Fantastic. Have you had a chance to get over to the big Chili Bowl?
I went last night. And that was awesome. I mean, like I said, I grew up watching Dirt Oval. I went to a few Road of Outlaws in Vegas, California, you know, and it's my actually first Chili Bowl that I went to, and I met some of the guys that I knew from when I was a kid, Sammy Swindell, and you know, of course, everybody knows Kyle Larson, you know, things like that. So it's kind of cool to see those guys. I actually talked with Sammy Swindell. I got to get an autograph shirt, a picture with him, and you know, so it's cool. I'm gonna be back tonight though. I'm gonna go again.
So I remember some time ago you told me that you're in a candy business. Tell us more about that.
So yeah, I still have my candy business. It actually does well for us back home in Hawaii. Actually, all over. That's pretty much my primary income for myself and my family, and of course my wife works too. But that's kind of what I do more. You know, I run that business. So it's busy. It's always busy. I gotta kind of slow the website down because it gets too out of control and I can't keep up. You know.
Right.
So I've been doing it for like 8 years, and it's been good to us. So.
And hey, you're allowed to advertise it here. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm actually bringing you some later. My wife's bringing it. So you'll have some later. She reminded me this morning. Please bring the candy. And what I did, I forgot it. So she'll actually meet me here, and then we'll bring it to you.
I mean, are you coming to the Chili Bowl tonight?
I'm gonna go to the big cars tonight.
So am I.
They're going over.
Well, I'll see you over there
here in a little while. What kind of off racing? What got you into the candy business?
So I actually did I actually always made kind of candy from like probably 10 plus years ago, but I never really sold it. I never really kind of marketed it, but I always used to fundraise for my wife's sisters.
Right.
They was heavy into the soccer and softball, and
Yeah.
they would travel a lot. So every time before they travel, we would fundraise, and they would ask me if I could make my candy so they could sell it. So I would just make it for them. Then I would get people asking me if they could just buy it separately, if I had a website or if I had this and this and that, and I kind of just it took off from there. That I was making for work. I was taking candy to work because I worked at a shipyard for like 15 years. And I would sell out every single day. And then guys would call me afterward. Hey, Jay, can I get some candy? Can me and my wife come to the wherever and pick up some candy? So I'll be making candy up to like 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Goodness.
So I told my wife, I said, I think we got to try and start to look into different avenues, to try and see how to market, how to go into stores and things like that. And so I kind of I did my event. I did an event because it got so popular. So I did an event where I'm just going to pop up, like I put up on my tent, my logos, and see what it does. And it actually had a line wrapped around the block.
Wow.
Like had hundreds and hundreds of people in line. And
You're joking.
yeah, and from there it went crazy.
Wow.
It went crazy. I did a website. I was on Shopify. I was one of the top 10 stores, small businesses on Shopify. It just went crazy. And it's been going crazy ever since.
What, sorry to interrupt yours. What is it about, I kind of know already, but for those who don't, they say it's absolutely fantastic. I haven't had any yet, so I'm looking forward to trying some of the stuff that you bring in. But what is it that makes it so different?
So it's for us Hawaiian people, like Hawaii people, we grew up on eating these types of candies. Mine just has a little spin and twist to it, but it's pretty much the same thing as it's called lihimui.
Okay.
And it's a plum that's been dried out and salted up, and what we do is we break it down and we add it to our candy, of course with my mixes and stuff like that. And so we have different types of it. We have lihimui, we have lemon peel, which is lemon peel that is dried out and salted, and it has this sour saltiness to these fruits.
Yeah.
And then we mix, kind of like, how like in the mainland you have the chamoy style candies, like the Mexican seasonings.
Yep.
It's our Hawaiian version of it.
Okay.
And it's pretty much, like I said, for us, we grew up on that kind of things, right? So
Do you have, tell them what your website is
so it's
so they can get a hold of it.
It's themuilab.com.
Muilab.com.
And then you can also find us on Instagram. We're big on Instagram. The Muilab, DAMUILAB. The Muilab on Instagram.
Gotcha. Excellent. Sorry I interrupted there.
It's okay. You said that it's made with a certain kind of plum that's found in Hawaii, right? Is that plum is it like everywhere in Hawaii, like sugar cane or?
So, plums is actually not from Hawaii.
Oh.
So it comes from Taiwan, Indonesia.
Okay.
So they make it and we import it in. But it's weird because it's like a Hawaii staple.
That is kind of, yeah.
This plums and it's called lihimui, but it's like a Hawaii staple, and it's been around since my grandpa them was kids and babies.
Yep.
So, but it's actually imported. It's imported from like I said, Taiwan, Indonesia, things like that, and
Wow.
But there's lihimui shops everywhere in Hawaii. So, but I just do my own,
Right.
And I just thought of how if this has been around for at least 100 years, that's 1921. Airplanes were barely a thing back then, so that had to be imported by presumably by ship. So.
But, yep. Pretty much, yeah. Yes. However they could bring it in back then, they bring it in.
Exactly.
So.
And ships, they weren't very fast back then.
Yeah. I mean, everything to Hawaii is pretty slow. So.
Is any other RC like how are drones big over there or anything like that?
So we had like a off-road track, and I think they just started it back up. But I never really raced off-road. That wasn't kind of like the jumps and all these things like that. So, but it's actually very popular out there in Hawaii too. At one point, it was super popular.
Cool.
I think they started doing it again. I'm not really too sure exactly, but the popular thing lately has been drag racing for the last 5 years. So, but it's kind of been like.
I see a lot of your posts, and you guys get some good crowds a couple times, or like within the last 2 years, where you've showed it. And
We got some fast guys that always do great in the States. You got Henry Tabios, Shelby. You got
Skills.
Jerry Baxter, the friend. Those guys that's been around for a minute, they go out and they fast. Jerry runs at Rockwell's team, and Henry runs at G4P, and stuff like that. I mean, we got a lot of sponsored guys in Hawaii. So
yes, you do. And it was it the first year of Las Vegas that you all kind of came over all together, and
I think it had like.
Or was it the second year?
No, it was the first year.
The first year.
No, the first year we had like 10 people.
Yes.
I think the second year had like 20.
Yes.
So.
Oh boy, he's getting up.
It's been getting busier every time, and then we go to a lot of different races too. So everybody kind of know when everybody's gonna go, and we kind of plan, and then we all go together, and even though we represent different teams, sometimes we still kind of team Hawaii,
Yep. And that's a great thing, having some people there that and representing the entire state. I mean, that it's kind of a cool thing that you can represent the entire state.
We're so close. I mean, not close as like we're super close as
right.
We're all good friends. Don't get me wrong,
Yes.
but like we're super close in proximity, like where we live.
Yes.
Like the island is so small that it'll take 20 minutes from everywhere to get someplace.
Now, which island do you guys?
We live on Oahu.
Oahu.
So but there's guys that race from the Big Island. There's guys race from Maui.
Okay.
So every time we go to travel to the States, you get the guys from Maui, the guys from Big Island, us from Oahu. So it's kind of like a big group that's going up together and racing, And we're all kind of part of those same teams too. So.
Yep. Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
Any more questions for him?
Yeah. I'm strange question, but if you want to get from island to island, is there any ferries that go across the island,
So we had a ferry back in the day, but there's no ferries anymore.
Oh.
So everything, if you want to go to someplace else, another island to the States, we got to fly.
Really?
Even though even with how small it is,
we got to fly. Before I had a ferry, I think I used to go to Maui and Big Island, something like that, and it was cheap. But they don't run the ferry anymore.
That stinks.
So
those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
well, at least explains why there's so many airports in Hawaii.
Oh, there's actually only one airport, one main airport, but the island is so small that we don't need multiple airports, because pretty much anywhere on the island you'll get an airport from an hour to 20 minutes and down,
Yep.
Anywhere. You'll drive around the whole island in like a few hours.
Do they call the planes that they go from island to island kind of like up here where we'll call them puddle jumpers? Like the small planes?
Yeah, it's small planes though, but I never heard of that.
We call them puddle jumpers.
Yeah. My wife don't like the small planes.
Yeah, most people don't.
I can't tell the difference. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I fly so much, I think I'm kind of used to anything already.
Yep.
But it only takes an hour or less from flying to another island. So.
You have any more questions for him?
I do have one more question. If you could, all right. If 10 years ago, so back in 2015, someone were to ask you where you see yourself in 10 years, what would you say?
So I think I'd still be working at the shipyard because that's what I did. I was a welder, right? I didn't see myself doing anything else because that's what my family did. That's what my grandfather, my dad, they all did. So I kind of just fell into that area of work. So that's kind of where I would have seen myself still being at there until my life changed with the candy. You know, it's like now I just make candy and people be like, "Jay, you make candy?" Like, that's what I do, you know, so kind of cool. I never seen me traveling as much to race, I'll be honest with you. I didn't ever see that from 10 years ago, that's for sure.
Right.
Because I only did it like just for fun, which is still fun for me regardless, but I didn't see it I was trying to be so competitive, and this racing took off from where it started, because I started from the beginning.
Yeah, ground up.
Where,
The very beginning.
you know, I could consider myself an OG drag racer, I think, you know, so.
I would have to say so.
I was one of the first guys to do it, you know. I was probably the first guy to really, from Hawaii, to get sponsored and travel a lot, you know. Then kind of everybody kind of just got good and everybody's just followed lead, you know, with each other. And now everybody's fast in Hawaii.
I got one last question for you, and then we'll let you go so you can go watch some racing or head over that way. What is your most memorable moment in RC racing?
I think my most memorable moment in RC racing was when I had to race Dibble, and I was unsponsored. So I wasn't with no team. I actually was kind of with like a bunch of guys that was called Team Reckless.
Yes.
I was with those guys with like Eli Dam and Supa.
Yep.
And we was the Hawaii chapter of Team Reckless. So going to that race and actually racing Dibble, that was like one of the fast guys, you know, and actually beating him and give me a hug after the race and just kind of be like, who is this guy? And kind of that journey that started me off to drag racing, and I pretty much got sponsored because of Dibble, you know, because I beat him, and he's like, please call me when you get back home, let's talk about some things. And I was like, why me, you know? And then I ended up jumping over to R1, so that was pretty much my most memorable moment for as far as RC. And of course, winning, you know, I won the Cali race, and then Super Chip. You know, I didn't win it, but I had 2 entries in the top 10, but the race got canceled. Of course,
Yep.
Everybody knows what happened, but you know, and I just placed everywhere. You know, everywhere we went. You know, but memorable moment. That was my most memorable moment.
And to think that I was there makes it kind of special to me too.
It's cool.
I remember that. Being able to be there and then having Dibble go back to back too. That was another interesting part of that race.
You know, it's funny. We always talked about it, and we actually talked about it the day he was here. And he was like, honestly, Jay, if you didn't beat me, I would have been comfortable where I was at. You know, it kind of had him step up his focus and his light game, because he had a faster time than me, ET wise, but I chopped him on the light. I ran an 83 to his 81, but I hit him on the light so hard that he couldn't catch me without, you know. So he told me if I didn't do that, he probably wouldn't have won it. And he was just focused the whole time after that, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I think we had the closest side-by-side race throughout the whole event, you know.
Yes, it was, because when we were announcing it, we went back and we looked at the different stats, and we were like, it was within like 3,000.
It was super. I forget what it was, but it was super, super close.
I want to say it was within like 3,000ths of a second.
Yeah. So, like I said, that was my most memorable, because that's what started me.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what kind of like I grew my name, you know, and things like that. So I think that's kind of where, for me, I always remember where I started, you know.
I lied. One more question. You kind of brought it up. If you have anything to give to somebody like OKO or somebody that's new coming into the hobby, what would it be?
Because I went through so much with this drag racing, because being me and being how I can be sometimes, you know, it's just to have fun. You know, one of my things that I lost over the time racing was not having fun and trying to be so competitive.
Yep.
You know, that I lost I lost the fun out of it, and I kind of had to find it back and to try to figure out how to get back to the fun, and which I think this break and then coming back, and I was just like, ooh, this is way more relaxed. I feel more relaxed. I feel good,
Exactly.
But just having fun and enjoying the hobby, win or lose, just have fun,
Enjoy the people more.
And that's one thing you always gonna remember is the people, Like I met so many great people around the world, and for me, like I can go anywhere and I, like I'll come here. Like nobody ever thought I'd be here. I see a bunch of people that I know that that even know me. I don't even some of these people I don't know who they are, but they know me, and it's just kind of cool, like how we all can just show up to some place and see each other again and just be like, man, Jay, it's nice to see you, kind of thing. So
Yep.
it's cool, definitely cool.
Yeah, it's. I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So, well, sir, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I would like to thank my wife for being in school right now, because if she wasn't here, I wouldn't be here right now. And this is like pretty damn cool. Like, this is probably one of the coolest things I've been to in a long ass time. So sorry for swearing.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It's okay.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. This chili boat, both these small cars and the big cars, man. It's awesome. I'm having so much fun.
That's awesome. We hope to see you do some circle track and maybe one of these years come up here
You never
and
know.
compete.
I'm definitely going back home to play some, so hey, you never know.
Exactly. Exactly. I know OKO has something for you to do.
Oh yeah, I brought this poly with me, and this is the one I'm going to sign to mains, and you want to sign it?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna let you know too. This was my paint job.
Yeah.
I did.
That's why he did it.
This was my paint job, and I used to make all my cars like this. I used to just
It's
bunch
an
of
honor
dishwasher
you.
soap.
That's what he said.
I appreciate that, man.
The secret soap trick.
If I would have had time, we were going to do that to my wings and my body for my sprint car.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, there goes the
Any
phone.
last things you want to say before this stream ends?
Not really. I hope to see you guys in the drag racing world in 25. So, because I'll be there, guys.
Fantastic.
Sir, thank you, guys.
Thank you. OKO, you got anything to say before we go?
Yes, I am very sleepy right now.
Before you take off, I got one thing to ask you to do. We'll be back. We got more interviews lined up. We got the Schultzes coming up here pretty soon. So peace. God bless. We'll see you in a little bit.
See ya.